They told you education is the key. They said, go to school. But why are so many graduates purposeless and jobless? On EduShift, we spot the cracks. We challenge the educational system. Torn between science, arts, and commerce, we bring clarity and answers to your questions, and we light up the path for a generation ready to stand out. Come enjoy discussions with educators, employers, and counselors. Let us fix this problem of career misalignment and help you discover yourself. EduShift, only on Global TV. Hello there and welcome to another episode of EduShift, where we help you shift towards education that aligns with purpose. I am your host, Priscilla Obasi, and today we're going to be learning something very educative, interesting, eye-opening, everything you can call it. Yes, we're talking about coding, how robotics is refining learning for Nigerian students. Now, we all know that education, when we talk about education in Nigeria, sometimes we don't want to focus about the digital education. The focus is usually on passing exams, maybe getting certificates and landing a job eventually. But today we want to take a different angle. We're asking, can robotics and hands-on tech learning change the way Nigerian children think, solve problems, or even innovate them? This is not just about coding, it's about using robotics as a gateway for creativity, for critical thinking, and for innovation. To help us explore this topic, I have with me in the studio a robotics and coding consultant. He's a tech enthusiast. He is the founder of Curex Tech, right? Yeah, so he has been working with young minds, showing them how technology is not just about the vague things we hear, but practically teaching them how to use it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome my guests, a robotics and coding consultant. He is the FCT coordinator of Curex Tech Foundation. He has been working with young minds, showing them how technology, is not just something you consume, but something you can create. Welcome with me, Mr. Uche Igweonu. Welcome, Mr. Uche.
Thank you.
So tell us about robotics and coding. What is robotics and coding to that child that do not know about it and to that parent that is not informed about it?
Robotics is simply the hardware part of what we're talking about, pitching those, the parts of the robots together, okay? While coding is the language that the robot understands. You are giving it the commands you give to it for it to respond to activities, go front, come back, do this, do that. That is the coding aspect of it. We can use materials, we can source for materials that are readily available, okay, to kind of do a pitching of the main robot, okay, a kind of prototype. Okay, we can make use of materials like paper mats. We can make use of carton, plastics, okay, and those things to just get the body parts of our simulation robot. Yes.
So why do we need robotics in the classroom?
Okay, you see, robotics has come to stay in the educational sphere because that's what is trending, and why we need it in the classroom is you can make it do simple tasks, things that we normally can do by ourselves, okay? Make it pick up stuff, make it, maybe you have a waste bin, you can make it set up code that can just make it open and, students put in. So those things that are around us that we use in our everyday lives. So we just, get robots to do those things for us.
Who needs robotics? Who should learn robotics?
Most of the things we do, if you go to advanced clients, you see that robots are beginning to take over those things, okay? Because of course a robot is faster, a robot doesn't get tired just like a human being. A robot can go to places a human being wouldn't have ordinarily been able to go to, okay? And they can make those things. The robots can automate those processes and make them faster for us. Take, for example, when you in the field of medicine, okay, in Japan, there is currently a prototype of a robot that can, when you give it commands, the necessary steps to take, it can perform surgical operations.
Wow.
Okay, and you see, of course, we are the human personnel that we have in medicine. In the country at the moment, you see that there's a percentage, most that we hear from statistics that some of them have gone abroad, the Jagba syndrome and all those. Okay, so when you have these robots, you see, you can just give them commands and they're able to do these procedures without having a human, even without human interference, so to speak. So it's something that everybody should at least have a basic knowledge of. In the field of graphics design, I always make reference to that because it's something that, you know, is used in the classroom. Okay, we make use of designs, pictures, videos, and all those things. So you have prompts, robots that you just give them prompts. Just type the command you want. Please design an African child that is putting on a uniform and is waving a flag and is doing this, that, and the AI prompt gives you, you know, that the beautiful output of that design.
So what is that age that, you know, that we can say a child has attained to start to learn coding, robotics, and all of that?
When a child has come of age to understand basic commands, basic principles, basic arithmetic principles, okay, when the child can understand sit, put, remove, you know, add, subtract, 1 plus 2 is this, okay, and that should maybe come as from the age of, say, 5 or thereabout, okay. At that, the child's sensory nerves are mature. The child has, okay, the ability to decipher commands. Okay, so at this point, the child will be able to understand that this is the command he or she needs to give to the robot, okay, for it to do what he wants the robot to do. What
makes robotics unique as a teaching tool compared to maybe the traditional subjects like math?
Okay. What we do in education is we are trying to improve the critical thinking sense of the child, actually, because when a child is working with robotics, giving those commands, the child has to critically think. Okay, the person has to communicate. The person has to collaborate with other. The child has to collaborate with other people. Okay, to understand how the robot works. So all these activities improves the way the child think. Okay, it improves memory retention, and of course how they understand basic principles of mathematics. Okay, the end goal actually is to make them think outside the box. Okay, there shouldn't be any box actually. Okay, because they just need to understand that there are problems to be solved, and they sit and think of how to solve these problems.
Children are different, right?
Of course.
Some parents feel my child is not, qualified or is not able to learn this, and there are other children that can grab these things fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you think that robotics is for every child?
Robotics is for every child, but the difference is in the assimilation level. Okay, every child is unique. Okay, there are kids that you give them the prompts, the commands. Immediately they understand how to manipulate the robot. They understand how to code and all those. But there are those that they will need to watch videos. They will need to practice. They will need to be, okay, you need to do and do and do before they are able to understand those concepts. Okay, and that brings to light differentiated learning in the classroom. Because if you need to understand the uniqueness of every child. That child A understands this very fast doesn't mean that child B should understand it. So you get the uniqueness of all the children in the class and make sure that they understand these principles at their speed. Okay, so at the end, every child understands what he or she is expected to do.
Do you think robotics in any way enhances critical thinking?
When you see what these children are doing, you see that you need to critically think for you to be able to do it, because at first try you might put the arm here and it doesn't work. You remove it and put. So you need to that that brain function needs to be there. The child needs to critically think, to know that this is what I need to do at this point. This is what I need to do at this other point. So it brings out, okay, the workability of their brain power and makes them understand how these things work. So robotics play a very critical, important role in the classroom because it enhances how every child works.
Different children from different families across different ages, how would you say they have responded to this technology?
Having been with more than 30,000 kids and students across various private and government-owned secondary schools, okay, especially in the FCT, you see that there is still this layback as technological acceptance when it comes to the use of this. Some people feel, oh, I don't want my child to be with devices and doing this all the time. They are always on their phones. They are always on laptops and all. Okay, yes, those challenges are there, but we do the best we can to, to teach them, to school the parents as to, okay, yes, we understand that there are vices when it comes to the use of technology, but we are giving these children the important tools for them to understand how to make use of what is available to them. Okay, a child should understand that there is what we call screen time. Okay, so in a particular day, perhaps you are not allowed to use the computer more than 3 hours. So we set parameters on these devices that make at the expiration of the allotted time, the child can no longer, okay, use those devices, because we understand that there are other learning curves for a child. It's not just looking at devices and working with them. They take out a particular time, work with the devices, then after some other time allotments, they do other things, okay, that, that make them still work within the confines of what we do.
All right, viewers, it is an educative session right here in the studio with my guest, Mr. Uche, a tech enthusiast. Yes, he is a tech specialist. And at this point, we want to join the kids right on the edutainment segment. Please stay with us.
It's edutainment time on EduShift.
Coding and robotics is one of the best things that has happened to me. This learning system is interactive and creative.
This is just my third week in coding and robotics, and you can't imagine the level of creativity we've put on the table.
Imagine that you can think something and bring it to life by coding.
Coding is often called the language of the future. It is how we tell machines what to do, whether it's your smartphone unlocking with a face scan, an ATM dispensing money, or even the autopilot guiding an airplane. Robotics takes it further, combining coding with engineering to build machines that can move, sense, and perform tasks.
What we today was security alert system. It's due to net that it detects the hand of someone. When the person comes too close, it triggers the alarm. When the person comes closer, it triggers the alarm. The more far the person goes, it doesn't all the lights will off.
And the beauty of it all is these children are not just memorizing facts for exams. They are collaborating, problem solving, and persisting. When a robot doesn't work, they don't give up. They troubleshoot, they debug, and they try again. These are the very skills the workplace of tomorrow demands: resilience, creativity, and innovation.
Each proximity sensor, it senses the stars in which you are close to the bulb, so it automatically on once you step into or come to a close distance, so the bulb automatically on. That is what we made it, instead of going to the switch or switching off on switching it off, switching it on.
While we are doing this, we have Nathan Obasi here, a 5-year-old boy who is constructing the multiple bulbs and will be coding it to work too.
Tell me all these things. What is this one?
Red board.
What are these ones? What are these wires? Huh?
These ones are the bulbs.
They are the...
Bulbs.
How about this wire?
The resistors.
The resistors.
I mean the jumper cables.
How about this one?
The resistors.
Okay. Then this one.
These are the jumper cables too.
Then this. Then
The
what?
battery.
Okay. So how do you make it together? How do you make it?
These voices prove one thing. When children are given the tools, they don't just play with technology, they create with it. Imagine if every Nigerian child has this opportunity. That is what this new government policy could make possible. No longer limited to a handful of summer camps or well-funded private schools, robotics, coding, and digital skills could soon become everyday learning for students nationwide. But of course, the dream depends on proper implementation, from qualified teachers to schools equipped with the right resources. Still, the vision is clear: to raise a generation that won't just use technology, but one that can shape it, innovate with it, and lead Nigeria boldly into the digital age.
Interesting, right? Our kids are doing fantastic, and it is your job as a parent to keep encouraging them. I'm still in the studio with my guest, a tech enthusiast, Mr. Uche, and the conversation continues. All right, so let's go to parents. How difficult has it been convincing parents, to indulge their kids in tech education?
Yes, I must confess it hasn't been easy, but of course, what we do at QREX Foundation is make believe, okay? Because when you come as a parent, we give you the opportunity for you to see what other kids are doing, and when a parent comes and sees children of the age of his or her child, okay, the person understands what the message we are driving, okay. There shouldn't be, what we are doing is boundless and limitless, okay. You see children, very young children doing things that even inspire us as adults, okay. When these parents come in and see these things, when they watch videos, when they look at what other kids in advanced countries do, okay, and with some pep talks that we have with them, they understand that, okay, they need to bring their children on board, and so far it's been really wonderful.
Of course, there are some children that will be more interested in what you're doing than their academics.
Okay.
Have you ever had such a situation?
Such situations arises once in a while, but the uniqueness about what we do is we don't treat tech and education as two different facets. Okay, we try to commonize, to bring them together. There's a meeting point for education and technology. Okay, because when you treat them separately, it looks as if we are doing two different things. But in the real sense of it, they are two. There is a marriage that has been institutionalized. Okay, so on that, when you are doing tech, you are doing academics. Okay, so they are not two different things. We treat them as one.
How affordable is coding and robotics?
I normally do not like talking finances, but what we do, because we are a tech empowerment foundation, our mandate actually is to try to bring these educational technology to the commonest of persons, to the most rural areas in Nigeria and in Africa in total. So we are trying to bring it to every child, to make it affordable for every child. Okay, so what we are charging is just minute, okay, compared to what these technologies, what we put in to get kits, what we put in to train our staff, to pay them and all those things. So at the end, we try as much as we can to make it very affordable. When you look at what we are doing and what we've done, you see that we take it to schools that ordinarily will not be able to afford those things. Yes.
And how available is QREX?
We are very available. Okay, at QREX we pride ourselves as, we are reachable. Our website is up and running. The goal actually is to take this technology to government schools. We understand the dichotomy of private government-owned schools. When you go to private schools, it's, of course, it's a one-man business, so it's easy to take decisions as to we are doing this, we are going this route. But when you talk about government-owned schools, you need to reach out to many people for decisions to be taken and all those. But I must say, the government-owned schools, they are really trying, I must say, because when you look at the reach, what we've reached out, the schools we've been to, you see they are doing greatly well, okay? And government secondary school in Kubwa and so many other government secondary schools, okay? And the response has been interesting, yes. Yes.
Nice. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you see robotics education producing future investors and entrepreneurs in Nigeria? I want you to be very realistic. Based on the kids you say you have been able to work with, do you see them enthusiastic about this, or are they just doing it because my parents asked me to do it? Do you see them being innovative about wanting to build a future out of what they are doing? Or is there still a barrier that is not allowing them accept what they're doing as a reality and, as something they can use for tomorrow?
When you look at these young minds, you be amazed as to what they are doing and what they can do. Their minds are so open, okay? Their enthusiasm when it comes to tech is wholesome, okay? So they are always there. And from the results we are getting, we know that not even in the very far future, very soon, we are going to have what we call techpreneurs, okay? That what they do and what they produce, the codes they do and the things they do, it's really wonderful, and very soon we'll start being closely at par with our counterparts in the established world.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Yes, it's been an educative and informative conversation with you. I think this is the point where we draw the curtains. Right, thank you so much, Sarah, for coming.
Thank you.
On EduShift today. We hope to see you again and again and again.
Of course, our doors are always open. We can.
And then I want to say one or two things about EduShift, your experience so far.
Okay, I must say it's really wonderful. Okay, giving this platform for robotics and tech education like this is something that should be commended. What you are doing is commendable, and you are giving education the exposure that it needs for us to do what we are doing. So I must say thank you very much. Keep watching EduShift.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
This expose. I'm sure our viewers, our parents, and students listening to me right now have been enlightened. Please, tech is the order of the day. You cannot afford to be left behind. Make sure you do everything you can to get yourself informed with the current realities of the day. This is how far we can go on EduShift today. I'm sure you have learned one or two. Thank you so much for staying with us at this point. Until I come your way again, bye for now.
They told you education is the key. They said, go to school. But why are so many graduates purposeless and jobless? On EduShift, we spot the cracks. We challenge the educational system. Torn between science, arts, and commerce, we bring clarity and answers to your questions, and we light up the path for a generation ready to stand out. Come enjoy discussions with educators, employers, and counselors. Let us fix this problem of career misalignment and help you discover yourself. EduShift, only on Global TV.